So I just seen the How to Train Your Dragon remake. Now on this channel, I normally don't talk about movies. I don't really do movie reviews that much anymore. Even though I do a lot of video game topics and I do just kind of random stuff for the channel. But I figured since I actually just seen the How to Train Your Dragon remake, I figured I might as well just kind of just talk about it. Now, for me, I love the original How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon is probably up there as mostly one of my favorite DreamWorks movies of all time. Like, it's up there with the first Shrek, it's up there with Kung Fu Panda, it's up there with a lot of DreamWorks movies that have come out over the past, like, ever since it came out during that time. Now, this movie, I remember going to see, actually, when it first came out. Like, this was, like, 15 years ago of its initial release. Now, I actually went and saw this movie at a theater that doesn't exist anymore, but that's a whole different thing. Now, when the remake actually first got announced, and obviously, I'm one of those people that does not like anything that comes out in terms of just remakes or adaptations of different things that have already existed, which, in the case of Disney, and I'm not the biggest Disney fan when it comes to live action, but in terms of How to Train Your Dragon, this one sort of got my interest in a way, but despite seeing the trailer for it, I had really like low expectations for it, considering that it literally looked like exactly like the original movie. So I didn't really have a whole lot of faith in it, since despite that, a lot of the stuff that Hollywood's been coming out with is just stuff on existing IP of the same thing. And if we had to talk about Disney, obviously Disney has had a track record of every single remake being shit, so that's kind of why I don't really have a lot of faith in a lot of adaptations anymore. Now, I actually went and saw the live-action remake, and I gotta say, for me, after what everybody's been talking about it, I would definitely say it's one of those remakes that it's hard to really nitpick on, because, to be honest with you, it's very faithful to the original movie. Not because of the fact that, yeah, sure, it's live-action, but most of what this movie contains, I mean, for people that love the original How to Train Your Dragon, it's literally got everything that you would expect from the original. From like the characters, the story, the actual premise of it, it's literally exactly the same as the original animated movie. I think for me, that's kind of why I would say it's hard to really nitpick on this movie, because it literally is a shot-for-shot remake. Like, some of the scenes are identical, everything about it is literally just like the animated movie. And in a way, I understand why this movie got made, because obviously, one, nostalgic is a big thing right now. It's been a big thing for almost a decade at this point, where they wanted to kind of just take existing IP of a specific product that was made a long time ago, whether it's from the 80s, whether if it's 90s, or anything that came out during that decade of a specific property. They obviously have to make it in order to like get people interested in the old nostalgic bait. And that's kind of what Disney's been doing with a lot of their live action movies, which, like I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of their live action movies. Like, I love all their properties. Like, I love, obviously everything they make when it comes to like video games, like Kingdom Hearts and the parks and everything that Disney does. But in terms of remakes, I'm not the biggest fan of any of them. Most definitely the Lilo and Stitch one that came out, but then again, that's a whole different video of itself. Now, when it comes to How to Train Your Dragon, I would say it's definitely a better live action remake, even though, yeah, it is a DreamWorks, it's like the first DreamWorks live action remake that has come out. But the reason I would say it's very faithful is because, obviously, like I mentioned, it's definitely, the scenes in it are literally the same. So even people that are diehard fans of the How to Train Your Dragon movies, I think the biggest thing they're going to like about it is the fact that it's literally the same movie. The only thing I would say they basically changed is mainly just, like, with Astrid, like, some of the lines that she does, and there actually is, like, a few minor things they changed from, like, what was in the original. Like, there were some scenes and everything, so, like, those kind of things they definitely did. Most of the things with Hiccup and his father, I mean, those scenes are very important from what they were in the animated one. Those are there as well, and the guy that actually played Hiccup's father, he played him in the original movie. He was really good, too. In fact, he actually kind of played him like he did in the original movie. And it's kind of nice to see. I kind of like that they got the same director, they got the same actor to play as that character as well. I mean, like, there's so many different things they did to make this as faithful as possible, in which, in a way, I get it. And that's kind of why it's hard to really hate this movie. But I think, for me, the reason why I would actually talk about this movie, obviously, because, I wanted to talk about it, but at the same time, like, there's reasons why this movie even got made. There's two reasons, obviously, with nostalgic, again, like I mentioned. The other reason is because, well, Universal just built that whole theme park in Epic Universe, so they kind of want to make it as, like, they want to advertise people to get interested in what they kind of have at their park for the How to Train Your Dragon, which makes a whole lot of sense. But in a way, that's kind of one of the reasons why this movie even exists in the first place. It's basically a commercial product to get people interested in the parks, but it's also for people who love the original How to Train Your Dragon and remember going to see it in the theaters. That's the only redeeming thing that at least people would get out of this movie. So for me, like, obviously I prefer the original animated one over the live action one, but it was nice to see that this movie, that it's actually very faithful to the original source material. Now, would I recommend this movie to people? Honestly, I think for people that love the original How to Train Your Dragon, I would recommend it to them, since obviously there's so many people out there that really love this franchise. I would recommend it to them for those particular people. However, if you're just a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon and maybe you just love the animated one, I would just stick with the animated version, since that's probably a better movie as a whole, despite that it is live action. But for people that actually have never seen the movie, I would probably just take them to go see it if they actually are interested, or maybe just curious, or maybe just want to experience it again like they did in the theater a long time ago. They could do that too. But as a whole, I would probably stick with the animated one. Not to say the live action one is terrible by any means, since it is literally exactly the same product. It's literally exactly the same film. So I'm not going to really say that there's really nothing that's different about it, other than the fact maybe they did some minor, like, slight changes, I would say. But other than that, it's really a harmless movie. It's literally just a harmless remake. So honestly, I would recommend it to anyone who loves the original How to Train Your Dragon, as it is a really good movie, and the animated one is a really good movie as well.